Hey punks! Welcome back to the University of Radlands. We have another Cult of Chrome preview today for you, nearing the end. I will link Daniel's Board Game Geek post in the description below. Let's see what we're talking about today. The camp that was in today's preview is called Asylum. It gives you one starting card at the beginning of the game. For 2 water, move any damaged enemy to anywhere on your side. And then it has one of those handy sidecars as well. For 2 water, you can do a restore. So the kind of the standard cost for a restore. 2 water, again, can't self-restore anymore, so Asylum would not be able to restore itself, but could restore other camps or people on the board, including the one that you might move over from the enemy side. Now, you wouldn't be able to use both on the same turn, just because once one ability has been used, you aren't able to use the other ability. So we'll kind of go over this first ability here. So say on your opponent's side, maybe they had you had injured or damaged a pyromaniac. You could spend 2 water. You then can move it to any open space on your side, so you can use it to protect one of your other people. You could move it, if you already had another person, you could move that person up and play the moved card behind another person. And then you could either try to restore this card or use this card as fodder for maybe one of the camps that allows you to destroy people for an ability. Might come in real handy if your opponent has maybe spent 4 water on a Mulder Stang that you were somehow able to damage, because this is a card that you're wanting to really target heavily. It's a game changer. Well, now instead of paying 4 water to play Mulder Stang, you can pay 2 water to steal Mulder Stang, try to protect him on your side, and if you would somehow be able to restore Mulder Stang, well, now you have your opponent's card that they thought they were going to use against you. You have it on your side of the board. So some cards that I think combo really well with Asylum would obviously be other camps that could help you restore the people that you're stealing. Cheaper restores would probably be more beneficial. So, Bonfire's a pretty cheap restore. Labor Camp, Atomic Garden wouldn't be too bad. The person becomes ready after you restore them. And then you have some of the regular costed restores. Transplant Lab is a cheaper restore, but stealing that person and moving them to your side isn't considered playing them. So you would still need to have played 2 other people somehow during the turn for that cheaper restore, just to give you a heads up. Some other camps that we've discussed for previews that I think would work decently well. One would be Lobotomizer. So bring a person over, see if you can restore them by discarding 3 cards from the deck. As long as none of them are injured, you can restore your person. If not, they're discarded and you gain a punk instead. Field Hospital, so you can move the card onto your side. And as long as they aren't in Field Hospital's column, you can then spend the water on Field Hospital to move them to that, restore them in the Field Hospital column for cheap, and now they're upright and ready to go next turn. And Memorial is another cheap restore that has been previewed so far. It targets people. As long as you're able to deal some sort of damage or destroy something on your side during your turn, you could restore whoever you decided to steal. Some cards in the Punk draw deck. You have your junk restores, so steal the person, restore them right away with a junk from your hand. You could use Mutant's ability for a really cheap restore. Playing a repair bot would be another way to use a really cheap restore. once you steal their person, if you play a rescue team, you could then pull that person to your hand and then play them on a different turn, and they'd be ready and upright and not damaged. Or, you could steal a person and then truce as another way to kind of scoop them back up. So this is a really good camp overall. I like seeing camps that have the restore. I think having restore on one of your camps is really always advantageous and something to look out for. And then just having a way to interact with your opponent a little bit more during the game is kind of fun. Every time you damage something and maybe not fully destroy them, you're playing kind of a mind game against your opponent. Like, oh no, are they going to try to Asylum and steal this person from me that I've just paid water for, or was really looking forward to restoring and using? Is this going to give my opponent an advantage? So like I said, a little bit of a mind game there against your opponents, which is always really fun. Interesting to play test. Daniel mentioned this was a play tester design, so good for them to get something into the game. It's always fun to see not just Daniel's work, but other people's work who really enjoy and love Radlands. So always a great and fun experience there. But let me know what you think. Punks, do you kind of like the interactions? Daniel teased in an earlier preview that there was going to be one more moving person camp in the game. Were you expecting to be able to kind of move people from one side to the other? Do you like that ability? Do you find that interaction kind of interesting, or is that too confusing and too game breaking? Let me know in the comments below. I want to discuss and talk about it with you. And as always, stay thirsty, punks.